Okay, so I've been having some issues getting my recordings to work on my laptop, so I'm going to go on my phone for this one, and we're going to see what happens. So I'll try to be nice and speedy about this one, so hang on for the ride. Okay, so we're talking about exercise and adherence this week. For me, exercise is important, and I try to do it to increase my overall feelings and mental health and to better myself mentally, physically, and emotionally. The most prevalent reason for ceasing my exercising would be time constraints. School is hard, and trying to get into PT school and stuff like that is even harder. And I'm dealing with like housing money, school. I got, family deaths going on right now. I mean, everything is crazy. So all of this time gets sucked up, and I have no time to actually go out and do the exercising that I wanted to do. So for me, typically right now, my exercise routine looks to be about 2 to 3 runs a week. They're usually about 3 miles long. And sometimes I supplement those with cycling trips if the weather permits. And those are usually about 15 miles long, or if it's the weekend and I have time to do it, I try to shoot for 30 miles. But that's rare because a lot of times I just don't have time. Excuse me. So with my interviewee was my partner, Sydney. And one of her worries about exercising, or one of the main reasons she hasn't been doing it recently, is she doesn't have a lot of time to do it. She's in the nursing program, and it keeps her fairly busy all of the time, trying to perform well and keep up with the demands of that program is, it weighs on you pretty good, and she just doesn't have a whole lot of time to devote to exercising. One of the things she wants to get out of exercising, one of the things she thinks would be good about exercising, is that she would be able to stay on top of her high blood pressure, and she would have better heart health, and she would love to reap that benefit. And another reason she's afraid to get into exercising is that she's been out of it for so long. She's afraid that she won't run as fast as other people, or she is not comfortable that she's not going to be as strong as other people, or she's got a lot of that comparative deterrent going on. And so along that track of the things that she's worried about, one of the things or the approaches that I think would be effective would be to start out really small, use the cognitive behavioral approach, and start out with those small goals. Let's work on that goal setting. And as she starts to set these small goals, like going for a 15-minute walk outside in her neighborhood for, 3 times a week, starting out pretty small and then building that as a habit as you move on, I think that would be a pretty surefire way to get her out and get her moving. And then as she increases the intensity and duration of the exercise that she's performing, she can start to kind of look back and say, wow, I'm making a ton of progress, and find a little bit more comfort in the progress that she's making. Another approach that I think would be beneficial to her, another strategy, would be a focus on changing the experience of the exercise. That was under the intrinsic umbrella. And this is mainly because taking a step back, exercising can be monotonous, right? You get to feeling like you're doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. It gets to be pretty boring. I know that she is a little more inclined to get these feelings early on, so I think that keeping everything fresh and exciting and changing what you do, taking a different route, listening to different music or a podcast along the way, changing the experience all in all would be really beneficial for her to keep her committed to it in the long term. Number 4, talked about motivational interviewing. And I think this can be a very effective tool in the PT clinic by allowing the client to set the bar as far as motivation and progress is concerned. I think that's kind of how it works for the most part in the first place. And I love that it was talking about maybe like PT would be more of like a partnership, right? I would be in a partnership with my client, and I would guide them towards their goals on the path to rehabilitation while also hearing their needs and supporting their motivations and goals that they make for themselves along the way. And I think that's kind of how it's supposed to be in the first place. I mean, we can only get you so far. It's really up to you and how much you want to get out of it. in terms of how fast we can get you back on your feet, or get you to feeling better, get you to where you're operable again. You know, a lot of that is up to you, and we're just a tool for you to use. So anyway, this is my recording for the week. If you're having a tough week, I hope it gets a lot better, and hope everything starts looking up for you. And if you're having a great week, phenomenal. I hope it gets even better. Spring break's right around the corner, and we're making it, right? Doing the best we can with what we got. So anyway, have a great week, and talk to you later.